we are continuing with our topic of embryo development, that is a young baby plant which is forming. So here embryo is formed by fertilization of the egg cell by the male gamete, and the ploidy is 2n here. Now, as a result of it, a zygote is formed. First the endosperm is formed and then the embryo is formed. Where is the endosperm? Here. The food for the baby plant. Baby plant will be developing from here. So first development of endosperm and then development of baby plant. It is making sure that when the baby plant needs, the nutrition is already there. In monocot and dicot, embryo development is very similar in early stages. It is called embryogeny. Refer the figures 2.13 over here. See this. This is the embryo that has been made. In practical work also we are having this. For setup practicals, you got to write the theory and draw the diagrams only. This. So the heart-shaped embryo, globular embryo. This is the mature embryo, plumule, then the radicle which is been formed. Okay, let us continue. It shows the stages of embryogeny in a dicot embryo. So, this topic is regarding the stages. See the stages over here. See how it is developing. Then this. Then the whole suspensor region which has been made, the embryo is here. And then this has been pushed. This has been made over here. Where this is taking place? It is taking place over here. An embryo is gradually pushed to the endosperm. Zygote gives rise to proembryo and it is taking various shapes. Globular, a big globe ball-like structure. Then it becomes heart-shaped, and then it becomes the last stage, that is the mature embryo. Now you can refer the figure 2.14a here. This one. This is taking place in a dicot embryo. See, this is the plumule. Future shoot system will develop from this. These are the cotyledons. This is the hypocotyle, radicle. The future shoot system will go and below. This will germinate and come above the ground like this. Then the radicle is protected by the root cap and it is safe. Now, portion above the axis is epicotyle. It terminates in a plumule. Here, hypocotyle is below, epicotyle and plumule. This is the future stem. The portion below the cotyledon is the hypocotyle. This one, hypocotyle, this. Future root, radicle would be the root. The root tip is covered with a root cap. See the diagram 2.14b. This is a monocot, this one. Now over here, it is having only one cotyledon. See, dicot will be having two cotyledon. 1 and 2. And here In this diagram, can you see it is written scutellum over here, right over there cotyledon. It means the cotyledon, only one cotyledon, because it is a monocot. Now, referring to this diagram, see this carefully. In grass family, the cotyledon is called scutellum. It is on one side of the embryo axis. See, where is the one side only? Here, this only one side. At the low end, embryo axis has radicle here and the root cap. They are covered by a sheet called coleorhiza. Coleorhiza is covering the young root safe. This is the cap, coleorhiza, keeping the radicle safe. Do remember the terminology. Now the shoot apex, which is going to become the future stem system, correct, above the ground, it is covered by a protective covering called coleoptile, correct. Do remember these words, coleoptile and coleorhiza. This is whole is for the monocot, this is for the dicot. So what we have done just now, we have seen the embryo sperm development, embryo development, and embryo development is for both the dicot and the monocot. But if you do the diagrams properly, you can easily write the whole answer. Now, we are coming to the next topic, that is the seed. How is the seed going to be made? Correct? This. Now, here, in angiosperm, seed is formed as a result of sexual reproduction. It is a fertilized ovule. Where are the seeds? Inside the fruits. Now, a seed has seed coat, cotyledon and embryo axis. Refer the page 37. See this structure of some seeds. Here, see the cotyledons, the micropyle end. Then you have the seed coat, endosperm and cotyledon. Now, when this is put inside the ground, this endosperm will be used up by the baby plant for development, and then it will start sprouting and shoot system will grow, the root system will grow below. So up till then this endosperm is useful as food for the developing this baby plant. This is the baby plant embryo. This is the endosperm. This is endosperm. This is embryo. Correct? So these are the two topics that we had finished just now. Endosperm development and embryo development. This is the baby plant. This is a reserved food material. So this is enough for this developing inside the soil, and when it starts sprouting, it can start growing. Correct? So now here, this is the seed coat, this is the cotyledon. It's a variety of plants they have given. So this is the shoot system, this is the root system. So this is going to give food to this developing portion, shoot system and root system. This is the endosperm. Now this diagram we had last year. This is the pericarp, that is the fruit wall. This is the endosperm. This is the scutellum, means cotyledon, coleoptile covering the future shoot system. This is the root system, future coleorhiza, keeping the radicals safe. So these are the types of seed. So dicot, monocot, and how they are going to develop in future. So we have seen the diagrams. Cotyledons of the embryo are simple structures. They are generally thick and swollen due to storage. The cotyledons, when you break the seed, groundnut, or the peas, it splits into two, and these are the cotyledons full of food reserves, legumes, correct? Peas, beans, val, and watana. The mature seeds may be non-albuminous or albuminous. So what do you mean by that? Non-albuminous seeds have no residual means leftover endosperm, as it is completely consumed, used up during embryo development. What is the example? Pea and the groundnut. Now, when the embryo is developing, I'll give you again a very crude example that in humans, the mammals, the young one, the developing embryo is inside the mother's body. So it is getting food from the mother directly through the placenta. Here the seed is also having a baby plant inside it. So the baby plant also requires food, and that is got from the endosperm. Correct? Now, albuminous seeds save the part of endosperm, as it is not completely used up during embryo development. What is the example? Wheat, maize, barley, castor. Correct? Sometimes in some seeds such as black pepper, murree, and beet, remnants of nucellus are also persistent. What is a nucellus? See, in this coverings of the embryo sac are the nucellus, are also persistent. This was asked in MCQ this year, board exam final paper. This and these examples were asked in MCQ. This residual persistent nucellus is called perisperm. Figure number 2.15a. Here we have seen them. Correct? Now, integuments of ovules harden as tough protective seed coats, the coverings of the ovule. Micropyle remains as a small pore in the seed coat. When you usually see the seeds, at one end from outside you will see that there is one tiny needle shaped hole. So that is the micropyle. How it is helping? Entry of oxygen and water inside the seed. Now the seed is becoming swollen and big, and then it can germinate. Now as the seed matures, its water content is reduced. So here it is up to the germination. Now they are talking about the dry seeds, the seeds which you have kept them. As the seed is maturing, its water content is reduced. So it becomes dry. How much water is there? You are having in our kitchen also the chickpeas, peas, beans, mug, mud, chana, val, watana. All these are dry. They are not having moisture in it. What is happening to it? Metabolic activities of the embryo is becoming slow. Embryo is entering a inactivity state called dormancy. Is it going to sprout when it is still in the containers in the kitchen? No. Till you do not soak them in water, sprouting is not going to take place. So when is the favorable condition? When you give it the seed, the moisture, the oxygen, suitable temperature, they start germinating and sprouting. Correct. So once they sprout, ovules mature into seeds, ovary develops into fruit, and a matured ovary is a fruit. Now, what is happening to the wall of the ovary? It's called pericarp. Fruits may be fleshy like guava, orange, mango, or they may be dry as in the groundnut and the mustard rye. Many fruits have developed methods. Now here the topic is little bit changing. Have developed methods for dispersal. Seeds have to be spread from one place to another greatly. So their chances of survival, they have to find new places, land and soil, and start germinating and growing into big trees. So the seeds have to go from one place to another. In class 11, you remember we had done about the variety of seeds which are having some hair. Example, the cotton. Due to it, it can fly from one place to another, and inside there is seed. Some are seeds are having spines, so they stick to the body of other animals, and the seeds are spreading from one place to another. Correct. Now, a question is given in your book that number of ovules in an ovary is same as number of seeds present in the fruit. This is the answer. So, what is the number of ovules? If fertilization takes place, it is 1:1. The number of ovules in an ovary is corresponding to the number of seeds. If ovules are many, seeds will be many. Now, fruits develops from the ovary. It means what is happening to the other floral parts, sepals, the green color, petals of the flower, stamens, they all dry and fall off. Correct. But in apple, strawberry, then cashew, kaju, the thalamus also contributes to fruit formation. Correct. That is also becoming the fruit, and such fruits are called false fruit. Here in our textbook we are having this diagram. See this apple. This is white edible portion that we are enjoying eating is the thalamus. Ovary is inside. The seed is inside this ovary. This here we are throwing it away. This is the actual ovary. So fruit transformed ovary is not this. Thalamus we are eating. Here also. This is an example. Here. See this. A section is shown. Then the strawberry also. Here. Correct? So this is also a false fruit. This is apple is also a false fruit, because it is not the transformed ovary in this. Now, most fruits develop only from ovary and are called true fruits. What is the result of fertilization? Fruits. Fruits are having seeds inside it. Now we are coming to some strange example. There are few species in which fruits develop without fertilization. Such fruits are called parthenocarpic fruits. While we were doing reproduction in the previous chapter, animals, that time we had done that some of the eggs are not fertilized and the young ones come out from the unfertilized eggs. Example of insect, aphids and agama lizard. I had told you that eggs are not fertilized. There is no male. All are female. So such type of thing is taking place in the plants also. See the banana. Parthenocarpy can be induced through the application of growth hormones, and such fruits are seedless. Now, seeds give several advantages to endosperm. What is the advantage? Let us check. Now, here, first one, reproductive process such as pollination and fertilization are independent of water. Means water is not needed for it. Seeds have good adaptation methods for dispersal to new habitat. They have to find a new place of living. If all seeds are falling at the same place, when they sprout, there will be no space to grow the big tree. So what they are doing? They are trying to go from one place to another and grow. Seeds have sufficient food reserve. So when it is sprouting, the young seedling is nourished until they are capable of photosynthesis on their own. So the endosperm which was formed from this till the sprouting, it is helping. The hard seed coat gives protection to the young embryo. Correct? The seeds have new genetic variation. This is a big advantage. The seed that is formed is such that it is going to have combination of two different parents, the male and the female. So there is a variation. The fertilization that is helping is going to bring into combination seeds which is having a variation. So here we have done up to the development of the seed and looking to the questions that you can do at the back. I hope you are doing simultaneously as we are going ahead with this. From today's topic, you should be able to do 11th. That is what is triple fusion that we have covered today from this diagram. Correct? So do the question number 11. Up till now I had told you to do up to question 10. So from today's topic you should be able to do the 12th also, do the 13th, 14th, 15th. Yes, up to 15 complete the questions from the back. And I had told you that I would be giving you homework regarding the first chapter, the diagrams. I want you to draw the diagrams of the first chapter and send it to me. So on a page, draw neat, tidy, clear diagrams with labeling of the first chapter. So totally how many diagrams are there for drawing? I had told you each and every from page wise that which you have to draw, and we are having very few diagrams in the first chapter. Correct? This you don't have to draw. This you have to draw. This you need not draw. Then this you can draw. This you need not draw. So only two diagrams are there in the first chapter, and then begin with this diagram. Correct? This diagram and this. Draw them and send it to me. And draw in such a way, here for explanation I had made such a big diagram. But in exam, draw it in such a way that you can draw it quickly. It should be very neat and tidy. Mind well, drawing diagrams is of utmost importance. Now in this chapter, agriculture, then apomixis and parthenocarpy topics are left. So we will be completing this second chapter, and after that I will make the internal questions based on chapter 2 and send it to you. So till now in two parts I had sent you MCQs based on first chapter, and do those MCQs perfectly well. So you have enough time just now. So complete the first chapter, the questions given at the back, internal questions that I had sent you, and MCQs I had sent you based on chapter number 1. So first chapter is done perfectly well with everything and the diagrams also. Then start with the second chapter side by side. You must have started, and I had given you the questions to be prepared from the back. So I hope you do it thoroughly well and work very hard from the beginning of the year itself. So when we come up to the last chapter, so that time you don't have much work, daily complete it. I wish all of you a very bright future and have a nice day.